and crap YouTube video, and I am investing too much time into my second YouTube channel, so that is why I'm planning on investing a little bit more time into my main channel after well, that depends because I still have to film so much content for my second channel. Tonight I'm planning on making a 10-hour video where I make the first ever videos for a huge portion of my YouTube channels. Plus, also, I still would have to make multiple GTA 5 videos probably. I'm special Storms 2 live stream. But also, I still would have to film multiple GTA 5 videos plus also Minecraft videos. So, yeah. So, I'm probably going to make 10-hour videos. Hell. So, yeah. Plus, also, it's the beginning of summer. So, I really want to just make a video where I finish most to all of my work, even just 10% of it would be a part of it. So yeah. Google Translate. I don't know why it already put in Russian to English. Flip it, Google. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. Why can't you just simply flip this thing here? 110 new languages. Wow. So I might change. So a thing that I really want to do is translate a lot of words from English to other languages, so then I could put it into this Google Doc, so then when I schedule all my community posts, I would have something to have there. So that's why I am planning on having a bunch of words just Google translated, so yeah.
We're at 700K, so in this video I want to give you a bunch of updates, just sort of life updates, updates for the channel, some of the extra changes, and I also want to ask some frequently asked questions like, so let's look at it up, but if you're new here, please subscribe, because our net will look at 800K, and we're getting there. Pretty good, pretty good. So I thought I'd give you guys a bunch of updates, because it's been a while since I did one-on-one talk with you guys, and if you guys liked it, I especially like it, I love you guys. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about is what I'm going to be doing on the channel. Because obviously, in the last few years, 3 years ago, I hit 600K. So, growth on the channel over the last few years, now, it has slowed down, right? That's like an objective fact, and I know why it happened. It's pretty obvious, but I want to tell you, what happened on the scenes. And what I want to do going forward, I'm going to change some stuff on the channel. I'll explain what happened, but first I want to say the changes. Basically, I want to do daily videos. A few years ago, we did daily videos really consistently. It had a lot of growth through the channel. It was really good. Making daily videos was really fun, but that is also where things started to go downhill. There's this phenomenon called burnout, and I got burned out making videos. It was really stressful, but it was fun at the same time, But burnout's a really big thing. You don't have the motivation. And that was me for a long time. And I know I've been taking breaks, but I think it's just something to do with I have to keep going. That's just YouTube. I have to keep doing it. And it got to the point where I just started not liking the videos I was making. YouTube updates and glitches and stuff like that. It was fun for a long time, but then it just became tedious. Oh man, I love a glitch. It started to become just not fun. And so that is why I started posting videos so late. I think I reacted to the GTA 6 trailer, like 3 months late or something like that. It was actually filmed the day the trailer was released, but I didn't release the video for a long time because I just didn't have the motivation to edit it or do the thumbnail or write even the title or description. It was just really hard. to schedule like 20 videos. I mean, it was like a really productive day, and you guys put some videos. But for her now, that's not a good thing to do. Like, that's a terrible day ahead. But that's the worst. What I would do is I would be burned out, and one day, super motivated, like 20 videos done, and then burn out again. It's like, you know, I can't keep up with news or relevant trends or topics, and so that is why the whole, it's kind of a joke on the channel that I've been late to certain topics. I wasn't always late, that's the reason. So, I want to get back to daily videos.
Actually, I don't know if I want to do that.
You know,
That, yeah.
The next day is a fresh slate. Try to get a video out that. It's kind of obvious to see that forcing myself is not like.
By studying the 10 most powerful empires of the last 500 years and the last coup
The way to go. There's something called the magical approach where you just do what's fun and get things wrong. That's sort of what I try to live by. And that is not the magical approach. That's like, you don't force things, right? You know, you just try and have fun. And that I think that's the point of life. By doing daily videos, maybe just doing video by video, I'm trying to just be like so fun. I'm like, what the heck? This is what I was doing before. How did I forget this? How did I forget doing this? So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna try to do daily, and that means I'll be able to stay up to date on what is going on YouTube, you know, trends, memes, news. I'll be able to cover it like the day up, the next day. You know, it's just like it's the perfect schedule for me. But if I miss something, like tomorrow, I'm going to shoot the scenes for my friend's short film, so I'm gonna try to like edit my video today. But you know, promise me if I don't get it done, whatever, that'll come out the day I'm free, right? Like I'll just pick up like the next day I'm free. So that's my plan, and that's what's happening. I know it sounds personal, but like you know, everyone goes through things or whatever. That is what happened to me, and I guess I could have just been vocal about it. I should just explain what's going on, so read your comments, because I read them and support your videos. Yeah, that's why I've been so late. That's what happened. So that's my plan.
See you through that day when you will not have videos that get hundreds of views.
I will make sure that never happens.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Visit BetterHelp.com/Pagina because sometimes existing is exhausting. And if you want to watch this episode completely uncensored, with absolutely no ads, hit the join button down below to become a member of Members Mark. Along with that, well, very soon. Anyway, hello, Jason.
Hello, Anthony.
Or should I say, hello, everybody. This is your favorite person.
You get a little more stress.
Oh, you're like your.
That was much better. So, hello everyone, this is your. Yeah, the same.
Nice. Let's first describe what it is your channel does. The Clip Show channel.
Yeah, so basically I show the top trending videos from around the world, whatever's popular I want in my channel. And I just want to show the best quality possible.
You're basically a master cheerleader.
Yeah.
And this kind of thing has existed before. There's America's Funniest Home Videos and stuff like that. So it's out there. It's been done before.
Yeah, but I think I'm better than them because AFV, I remember growing up watching AFV and like, why is every fifth, video somebody thinking about us? I'm like, come on. That's not entertaining.
Yeah. And then other people on YouTube, Ray William Johnson was doing the same thing for a long time. He was the #1 most subscribed.
So he was an inspiration of mine, but no hate to him. I was like, what if I could do what he does without the talking, without making the jokes? Because whenever I watched his videos, that's when I was hit. I would always skip what he was talking about and go straight to the content. I'm like, you're a funny guy, I get it. You're a good guy in camera. But however, I'm just here for the content.
The very first time that we ever spoke, you reached out to me and you were like, hey, so I'm getting a lot of offers from people to buy my channel, and I know you sold Smosh, and I want to get a little bit of advice.
Yeah, it was, the past 4 months of me have been kind of crazy because I was really kind of panicking because I haven't seen that kind of performance with my channel in a long time.
It's hitting like 350 million. Well, now, but I'm saying I was worried because my channel wasn't doing that great according to my own standards. So I was kind of in panic mode, and I didn't know what to do. It's kind of like selling a stock at the high point. You know, you don't want to sell at the low point. So I'm like, I know what my business is worth. Should I sell it now? Should I sell out? So I reached out to a few companies and see what they had to offer. And one company was like 10 million bucks. Another was like 12 million. Another was like, just name your price. I'm like, I'll do it.
You were thinking
I
like
was really thinking I'll just go and selling out and just basically just quitting YouTube.
So then you called me, and did that change your mind? Our conversation?
No.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
It
there.
was nice to talk to you. Honestly, you didn't really help that much.
Cool. I'm glad you're honest.
What did ultimately, like, really, I was about 2 meetings away from really selling out, but I think it was my mom. She's like, all you do is complain about your channel and how you're struggling and everything. Why don't you do something to change it? I'm like, okay, Mom, you know, I will. My sister did the same thing. She's like, you can't do everything by yourself. You need a team.
Because you were literally the only person working on the channel
Yes.
with 15 million subscribers.
So I talked to myself and I'm like, let's just give YouTube Shorts a try before we sell out. I'll see how YouTube Shorts work. Best decision I ever made. It's everything was exploded. Subscribers, views, everything.
Yeah. Why do people want your channel so bad? Why are there so many offers and incentives?
Because here's how it works. 95% of all viral videos that you see on the internet are owned by about 12 companies. Yeah, what
Because they purchased?
I don't want to say they own it, but they are an agent. They're a representative. If you sign away with the contract, basically what happens is they go, okay, you represent your video now. We will then distribute that to ABC, CBS, all these big corporations. Every time we make a sale, you get a percentage. So these big companies like Viral, GP Media, they all are very big creative companies. They really want my channel.
What amount would it take for you to sell your channel?
I told them, I said 20 million.
20 million?
I said 20 million.
Why 20 million? You're already getting offers for 12. What's the big difference between 12 and 20?
Taxes.
Well, you just want over 10 million in your pocket, or what?
I want to open up an animal sanctuary. I want to and a farm and all these fun things. So
You were telling me that you also want to open an apple orchard? You want to own an apple
I want to be an apple orchard farmer so badly.
Just it's such a bizarre, specific dream.
It's a Midwest thing. You wouldn't get it.
Okay.
You wouldn't get it.
People ever criticize you for just being a curation clips channel? Like you're not a real creator because you just take other people's clips?
The way that I see it is I'm like a director, producer sort of thing. The number one thing is he's lazy. All he does is steal videos and take videos off Reddit, and that's it. It is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of negotiating contracts. A lot of people like, no, you can't share my video unless you get this dollar amount. It's a lot of negotiating. So I have to be very level-headed with what I do.
Are you the negotiator?
I am the negotiator. But it is, so I understand where they're coming from. It is a job anyone could do if they have the right mindset.
Yeah.
It's not exactly creative,
Yeah.
but anyone can do this, but you do have to have that kind of brand mindset.
What's the process of finding the clips?
Scrolling through TikTok, Instagram,
Just scrolling.
and scrolling. But here's the thing, if I'm paying people right now, a few people, like $30 an hour to scroll through TikTok and Instagram.
So people are scrolling on TikTok right now.
Yes, but here's the thing. The reason why it's not a full-time job is because there's just not enough content out there. The first time you open up that app on your phone, it's only solid content for the first 15 minutes. You notice that? The TikTok and Instagram will feed you the best videos in that first 15 minutes. After that, it's crap.
Is it because there's only 15 minutes worth of high quality content?
For your algorithm.
So if I get multiple people with multiple algorithms, they will get the best content per algorithm.
I feel like talking about algorithms is so interesting because it's something that was introduced to the internet about a decade ago, and it's just getting more and more refined. And now the entire platform, TikTok, is entirely built on it being good at predicting what it is that you want to see.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a little spooky. Okay, want to hear my scariest TikTok story?
Yes.
I still have no answer for this and
Okay.
how it knows. I went for a walk with my mom. I put my phone, my iPad, everything was in the house. I had no devices on me.
Yeah.
We went for a walk around the block. Around halfway around the block, we're like, you know, a half mile away from the house. And I found a bee that I've never seen before. I'm like, it was the most strange looking bee I've ever seen in my life. And I go back home, I go in the house. The very first video I open up when I see TikTok is that bee.
What?
That is the spookiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Do you think it was just a random coincidence?
It has to be. There's no other explanation. Unless TikTok has implanted something in my brain.
They might as well have.
Yeah.
How much do these licensing deals cost? How many videos are you including in one of your videos?
When I first kind of started doing licensing deals with these corporations, I was very cheap about it. Like I had to go like $1,000 an episode. Like I don't want to spend more than $1,000 an episode. And now after this like whole me panicking about my video quality going down and everything, I'm like, I don't care. Whatever the price, let's get it done. I think $200 per clip is like the standard across the industry.
And how long do you own that clip? Or how long can you license that clip?
Forever. It can
That's
be
in perpetuity?
yeah, it's a steal.
Damn.
Don't tell them that. If they hear that,
I think they're going to watch this video and they're going to know they're going to start
Yeah,
charging at least $300.
But here's the thing, it's a great deal. Please don't raise the prices. I try to get about 20 clips per video, and I try to have about half of those be permission, like I just got for free. Another half be videos I paid for.
So you'll end up spending around $3,500 a video.
No, anywhere between literally $200 to $3,000. I don't care. I just want to get it done. At this point, I'm willing to spend whatever, because I want to get the best quality out there. Because I want to make sure I squash all my competition.
Okay, who's your competition?
I don't know if I have any.
You don't have any competition right now?
I don't feel like I do.
Yo, there is a hole in the market. Okay, I'm tired of this monopoly. We need some competition here. But don't worry, it's going to be good for you. It's going to be stressful, but it's going to improve the quality of your content because you're going to have to fight for it.
You know who competes with me? It's got to be like TikTok as a whole, YouTube Shorts as a whole. But
You're competing with entire platforms?
I think that's my only competition because what my videos are, it's basically scrolling through TikTok or.
Well, I am planning on recording a Wolf Hunter video for my channel here. So, what's up guys, welcome back to my YouTubers, and this is a War Thunder video, so yeah. Wait, hold on. Cancel. Oh. So I still have to switch that. So like I said, all of these things are for this one. So whenever I unlock this thing, so basically because I have this thing right here, and I really want this thing, well this crew, to be a bomber. The bomber's right here. So once I unlock this plane, I'll just put it there. Once I unlock like one of these planes, I'll put that right here, and all these planes will be for there. So when I unlock this one, I'll put it right there. Then I'll just go to one of these ones and put it there. And I think this one's already in the middle, so yeah. At least I don't have a game disc for this. So this is Germany, I think. I think I'm flying over Germany right here because this looks like German right now. And if you didn't know, I do speak some German. So the enemy team, according to down here, the enemy team has 146 ground units, and my team, which is blue, has 146 ground units. Now I plan on, obviously, attacking the ground units to see if actually that thing in the bottom left corner is actually true. Because if it isn't, I don't know what is that. Oh, armored car. So I guess all of those are like armored cars. Oh, yeah, it is. I don't have a Bonloy rocket, and also have my little ring. My whole entire bit. Basically, my whole entire airplane is just falling apart. Come on! Well, at least the enemy team will probably lose still. And I don't have bombs or anything. I don't have bombs for this aircraft. I really should research everything for this aircraft because I really want bombs for this aircraft because then I would be able to damage the plane heavily. Plus also I'm already level 2, so yeah. I don't want to attack that person right there. But what if my team planes are going down? Come on, minimum collision. What the? Come on, Rose. did I die? Wait, is there a plane behind us? Oh yeah. I'm getting killed up. How are these planes so powerful, but my planes aren't? That's what I don't understand. Oh, it isn't. I'm going to go full stupid dive. Right now. Down. Go. Return to hangar. All three things called skill points. Yeah, so basically, I'll put this aircraft for, since hopefully this one is better than the one that's over here. No, I'm going to have this one replaced for this one. Then I'll probably have like this one replaced for this one. Then one of these probably this one right here replaced for this one.
Hello.
Okay.
Before Charlie and Charlotte come, I'm
That's
gonna get
Sadie.
this basement cleaned up. Before Charlie and Charlotte go down. The last doors definitely have to get put away. Chuck and I have to get ready. try and get an air conditioner on. It's nice down here.
Yeah.
That there, I'll never get one to put in there.
Welcome to part 1 of the basic tutorial. In mouse aim mode, you can control your plane simply by pointing the cursor at the plane. Point your cursor. That's it. Proceed to the waypoint. Increase the throttle. Increase the throttle to 100%. Decrease the throttle. You can see the aircraft's current speed, the current engine power percent. As you can see, the aircraft's speed depends. Increase the throttle until more emergency power is enabled. Hold the button to continue flying with WEP. The WEP lets you fly at maximum speed. Each mission has its own goals and objectives, which must be completed in order to win. Press enter, the tactical map to see the list of completed failed. Your first enemy is before a balloon. You can see several markers on the screen. You will be unable to hit your opponent if you move the targeting cursor onto them with your mouse. The rounds will fly in the direction that the crosshair is aimed. You will also be unable to hit a moving object if you move the targeting crosshair directly onto it. As the target moves, rounds fly forward and the burst will miss. To hit the opponent, put the targeting crosshair over the lead angle indicator of the enemy plane and fire. You need to. Now your aircraft has started to turn towards the target. You need to aim the crosshairs at the lead angle indicator
want to go naval battles. I want to see that. Why doesn't read my collision? Oh, well, why am I getting attacked from all sides? I don't know how to shoot. How do I shoot? Well, first off, torpedoes. So that one all. I'm tuning, but it's not tuning. Well, I don't know how to control this. Like, I don't know how to shoot or whatever. Wait, hold on. It's again. I don't know why they said that was a hit. Who else wants to get hit? Please. Fire. Repel. And I don't know how to put out fires in this thing. But the whole type acts on fire. Weapon shoot. Repel. Well, fires out already. But I could just go straight for the A one so then my team could actually start getting pull back. Hit. Perfect hit. Perfect hit. Perfect hit. Yeah. I do I keep getting like perfect hits here basically. But where was the feel for this? Like I could just aim for the middle like right here. And it would probably just hit the middle or like some like they'll go see lifeboat. So if they have to escape, more people would die from not having that lifeboat. What about the back? Oh, like they'll fire. Target destroyed, haha.
West Wing. Enemy forces have captured a zone. Damage control to repair rocket. Upbound rocket profit. Damage control suspected. Ammunition detonation detected.
How am I keep getting hit? I don't know where I keep getting hit from. continue. I hate the ship one, but I do like the tanks and the airplanes because I like airplanes. I am planning on starting a tank channel, so yeah. You know, I only have a level 2.
Allied forces have captured the zone.
Critical hit. Good.
Target destroyed.
let's check up on this. Actually, now, once I think about it, I'll just put random things in random places. So, like, once I research this thing, I'll just put it in one of those things here. Arcade battles. I'm in all the arcade plus, so why does it say? But that's gonna be the end of this heat video, and bye. One video done.
Tell me twice or a couple thousand times. Let's talk about school dress codes. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Style Theory, where you always get a gold star for perfect attendance. In between getting your master's in theoretical sciences across these channels might be attending, real school. In fact, based on the comments on our last episode where we covered school uniforms, a lot of you are currently in school or have yourself some very vivid memories about your time there, specifically about what you wore. In that episode, we discussed the impact, or lack thereof, of uniforms on school performance. But of course, researching for that one topic actually opened up a whole can of worms about a related topic, dress codes on school campuses. If your school didn't have a uniform, then I'd bet my bottom dollar that you, like me and my pleated pants, had yourself a different set of rules for what you could and could not. Wear, aka the dress code. School dress codes are pretty infamous at this point.
We're talking about the school dress codes. That controversial video is one of two videos students saw on the second day of school regarding the dress code.
The dress code, the dress standard is pretty normal.
A school district's dress code is creating even more controversy tonight for middle school students.
You get the idea. And they're not just an American thing either. They're a universal feature of schools the world over. So with them being literally everywhere, I think it's finally time someone asks, should schools have dress codes? Are they actually doing anything? Is there scientific evidence that having a dress code in schools improves people's grades, or improves their well-being, or improves really anything about the school experience? Or are these sets of seemingly arbitrary rules doing more harm than good? The next time you get pulled into detention because your strap was a little too spaghetti and not an entire lasagna noodle, you have a case to be made that the system is a scam. Well, my friends, there's only one way to find out, so ring the bell. Class is now in session. Advocates of dress codes tend to argue that the benefits can boil down into three main categories. They're designed to promote 1, the success of the students, 2, the safety of the students, and 3, individual expression for those students, allowing me to keep it spicy in high school by switching up my silk shirts and quintuple-pleated dockers. So before we dive into any of these individual categories, it's important to establish where the codes came from in the first place. You see, in the U.S., they have themselves an unexpected origin. Believe it or not, but school dress codes started with students way back in the 1960s, and all because they were protesting the Vietnam War. Yeah, that's the one that your grandpa probably talks about. With the peak of anti-war protests happening in the late 1960s. If you're not an American history buff, or, you're not an American at all, here's the TLDR. From 1965 to 1973, the U.S. was engaged in a highly controversial war in Vietnam, in which the U.S. wound up drafting a whopping 2.2 million young men between the ages of 21 and 26. Many of these kids wound up overseas and ended up being part of the 58,000 troops who died as a part of this war. Again, almost all young men a couple years out of high school being forced to fight in a war that many didn't agree with. One major form of anti-war protest was fashion, mostly worn by school kids who were showcasing the fact that they disagreed with the war and the draft. We know a lot of these clothes today based on the historical stereotypes. This was hippie culture at its peak. Loose bohemian clothing, bright colors, bell bottoms, but the powder keg for conflict with U.S.
Among my eyes. Yes, sir.
Jimmy John's finally has toasted sandwiches, including the new chicken bacon ranch. Try one today.
Highway robbery is happening across Pennsylvania in Shapiro's land of broken promises.
Yeah, go for it, Elijah. On to our next auction. Another Bob Ross mouse pad, retailing for about $30. This is a beautiful mountain scene. It's 900 millimeters by 400, and it's 3 millimeters thick. Oh, look how pretty it is. Got happy little trees. That's a Bob Ross reference. I watched Bob Ross only because he was like cool for like 2 weeks on Twitch. Okay, bye. Bob Ross was like, what? Did you not know that? That was like why he blew up, like, well, I mean, he blew up a long time ago, but like, you know he's not alive, right? No, don't do that. Because that's gonna make me look like the bad guy. yeah. Several years ago. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, Elijah, you know when they did basically, Bob Ross was, all the Bob Ross videos went to Twitch and they just streamed it on repeat for a couple of weeks. Like, this was 7 years ago. They just streamed every Bob Ross. He died? Those were from like the 80s and the 90s at that time already. Oh, that's like these. I mean, yeah, definitely, But his hair lives on! No, it's not! Oh man, I'm sad now. 1995. He died before I was born! $201, who bought it? Wow, I love this Bob guy on Twitch. He should start a YouTube channel. The way you've been talking about him today, I got kind of a feeling that maybe he didn't know.
decade later. 10 years, now you've got YouTube tenure. I wish that was how it worked, but it is not. Has it felt like 10 years? No, YouTube still feels like my new job, even though I've put in almost twice as many YouTube years as teaching years at this point. What can I say? Brains are weird. Can we get a lava lamp on the desk, please? Sure. Actually, back when I was a teacher, I always kept a lava lamp on the desk for students, because when I was a student, I always found it easier to listen and to think without also having to make eye contact the whole time. But you get chastised for looking up at the ceiling. Hey, pay attention, kid. But I was paying attention. Look at me, in the eyes, all day long. Not fun. I figured I couldn't be the only one like that, so I didn't correct kids for looking away from me. But also, ceiling gets boring after 13 years of compulsory schooling. Thus came onto my desk the endlessly hypnotizing lava lamp as hope. If you're a teacher watching this, give it a try. It's good for a certain kind of student and really chills the vibe of the room. And do you think the next 10 years will be better or worse for humanity, and more or less impactful on human history than the previous 10 years? Thinking about impact over the long run of human history, it's pretty clear that impact tracks with tech and tech with time. 10,000 years ago, there was very little you could do to impact the world. So I do expect the next 10 years will be more impactful than the last, and I will bet they're better than the last. I'm less confident about that second part than I used to be, but I still think it holds that, on average, each decade is an improvement. That is, until we accidentally stumble into an existential threat, which is game over, which is pretty bad. Over the last 10 years, your channel has grown a lot. What is the most important thing that you've learned about creating content? Because anything I've learned from thousands of spoken words is that human communication is hard. Way harder than people think, precisely because people think it's easy. You just say the words, and the other person hears them, and bam, understanding. Alas, no. Words are fuzzy things, and you don't realize how poorly you string them together until you are forced to listen to yourself saying those words. And even if you're happy with your string of words, you just don't know how those fuzzy patterns of sound will pattern match in someone else's brain. Human communication is a dance requires harmony. We all create content, and I think we should all keep that in mind and be much more willing to work with the intended intention of our interlocutors. What do you miss about internet culture from when you started on YouTube? This is my biggest I like that band before they were popular opinion, but it finally dawned on me recently that internet culture is the culture now. Even just 2 Q&As ago, I showed the internet as the Wild West, but those days are long gone, thrust aside by content mines or suburbs with homeowners associations fixating on real estate values. I think Passphrase was super naive to imagine the internet he loved could possibly both 1, explode in size, and 2, remain the frontier. How do you feel that your #1 most watched video is no longer your need? Explain to me. Fantastic. I thought that UK video would forever be my albatross. Like, oh, he never did anything as popular as the first thing he did. So I was very happy with the solution to traffic top in the UK. And if a day ever comes where something newer beats out traffic, I will be thrilled again. Is there an underlying theme that connects all your videos? Not really. My YouTube colleagues are forever telling me to be more strategic in the selection of topics, to target content for growth and views and dollar bills. And I know I should, but I just kind of can't. Because the videos take so long from idea to completion, the only thing that really matters is a topic that I can stay interested in for months, and that just doesn't work for me with strategic selection or the time to have an underlying theme. But I guess if you're looking for what's similar with all the videos, one human personality slider is how much you are interested in things versus how much you are interested in people. Most people are people, but if you look at my videos, one common connector is the near complete journey. What holds my interest tends to be very painful. How does it feel to have teenagers that have been watching your content for the majority of their life? I hadn't thought about that possibility until now, but if there are people who have watched my videos for the majority of their life, say hi in the comments. What do you think about the To My Future Me letters or videos? Have you ever made any? Lots of people ask questions about sending letters forward or backward in time. I wouldn't want to mess with the timeline going backward, and sending letters forward is boring, which is why I've never done that sort of thing. Okay, well actually that's not true. One of my teachers in school had us do this, to write a letter to ourselves for when we graduated high school, and when I got it, high school me did not care about anything grade school me had to say. And so it goes now. I'm confident that 10 years from now me would be positively meant to get a letter from current me in the same way current me couldn't be more meant about what's 10 years ago. What was your closest experience to death this decade? The nighttime driving that I did in my road trip video. I was at that point years out of practice driving. I hadn't slept well the night before and had already driven all day and then attempted to tackle both a super fast highway and then a pretty smoky road. Statistically, it is without doubt the most dangerous thing I've done in the last 10 years. Even though people watch the video and go, what's the dumb, dangerous decision hyped up at the beginning? Driving at nighttime? LOL lame. But the reality of death is finality, and it's not always visually obvious when death is close. For example, I was on an Indian reservation for a project exploring a canyon and building. It wasn't until a few days later when reviewing the footage that I saw the solid ground I was standing on was actually a bit of an overhang. It didn't fall, obviously, but it's going to fall at some point, and had it done so, well, the reservation was off the main path and the canyon off the path from that, and the path I was on was off the path of the canyon. So an untimely crack would doubtlessly have been painful. It's been suggested that you developed an increased caffeine dependence over the years. At this point, do you consider it an asset or addiction? Por qué no los dos? If you had to categorize your YouTube career into eras, how would you split it? I feel like that's more for the audience to decide what is, for them, the period of gray or whatever, because the public perception of creation can often have very little to do with the perception or intention of the creator. Again, human communication is difficult, and also art is not the hardest. But for me, there's really only one important era shift, and that's pre-Project Liberty and post-Project Liberty, which was, wait for it, the Statue of Liberty video, which I think almost no viewer would pick out as a big deal video, but to me, it's the biggest. It's the video where I feel like I finally got my own writing process, personally accepting its advantages and disadvantages. That was sounds strange because I've been writing videos for 7 years at that point, but I think this is just part of what happens when you do something for a long time. Is the 10-year mark an accomplishment or a reminder of the inescapable passage of time? Working on those dose. How has the way you spend your free time changed over the last 10 years? Two clear trend lines. Video games up, books down. I've learned there's a huge number of books I just can't read because I'll want to turn them into videos, and I can read books faster than I can make videos, so reading those would be just creating a huge pile of guilt for myself. And when your job is mostly writing and reading, it's nice to turn that off, and video games are basically the only thing in my life that truly shifts my brain into neutral. All that said, I think the drop in books has gone too far in the last 5 years. I don't like making promises or predictions for my future self, but one of the things I'd like to be able to say 10 years from now is that I've inflected the reading curve. Who is sponsoring this video? The most frightening video I uploaded this decade was the one where I asked you to support the channel directly through membership instead of having sponsors. Clicking upload that day, I didn't know what would happen, but I trusted in you. Since then, together we have learned the trouble with tumbling after flying across an ocean. We've talked like a pirate, gone through the T-Koi trilogy together, and of course, revealed the heptagon of the hexagon before. It is you who let each video flow from start to finish without me needing to pause and tell you about our sponsor in the middle. It is you who supports me, my family, and my team. It's you who allows me to explore the forest of all knowledge and share what I've found. You sponsor my videos. And thank you. Thank you for everything, Internet. Thank you for my whole life. It's been a wild 10 years.
Well, that's gonna be the end of this YouTube video, and bye.